Alright, this week we're doing the procurement cycle. We're going to divide this up into two segments as we did the sales and distribution. It's kind of like a lot, so I decided to break it up so we're not sitting here all hour. We're going to go over the order levels, master data, purchase requisitions, and purchase orders. These are the first, purchase recs and purchase orders are the first two steps of the procure to pay cycle. So we're going to just do those two since they're kind of like, there's a lot into them. And then next week we're going to finish the cycle. Or units. It starts at the tippy top, the client. I feel like a broken record at this point because I've said this so many times. But the client is a self-contained unit in the SAP system. It's the highest point in the organizational level hierarchy. It has its own set of tables, and it's, like I said, the highest organizational level. The company code represents an individual accounting unit. It has its own books that it holds. It has its own balance sheets as well, and it represents profit and loss statements. The plant is the organizational element within the company code. The plant produces goods, services, or makes goods available for distribution, and a plant can only be assigned to one company code. However, multiple plants can be assigned to a company code. But a company code can have more than one plant. That's what I'm saying. Ugh. Get it mixed up. Storage locations. There are units that allow differentiation of stock. Can hold multiple units of stock, multiple materials. The differentiation occurs at the plant level, and it's a key part of the WM system. And materials can be repeated as long as they're defined in different plants. Like you can have the same material for different plants, but you can't copy the same material twice. Otherwise, it creates a lot of confusion. Purchasing orders. It's a unit to negotiate general conditions of a purchase. It can represent one or more plants or company codes, and pricing conditions are set at the purchase order level. A purchasing group. The purchasing group represents a buyer or a group of buyers. Each buyer or group is responsible for certain purchasing activities, and it cannot be assigned a purchasing organization. The purchasing group is actually its own separate entity, not related to the central organizational level. We'll get more into that later. Master data. Master data is the main source of the material-specific data. It prevents redundancy of data, such as having two materials or same name of materials in the plant. It can be subdivided into groups by their functions, such as the purchasing, inventory management, or accounting. Vendor master data is information about a vendor from a purchasing and accounting perspective, such as different vendors that you may buy materials from. The structure of the vendor master data is as follows. It's the general data, which has the address, communication data, etc. Accounting information, accounting info, payment transactions, and different tax information. And purchasing order data about purchasing, different partner roles that you may have within your purchasing organization, and other optional information. Purchasing information records. They contain specific information about a vendor and a material. It's used to find out which vendor offers the material and the price which is offered, or has been offered, or will be offered in the future. And it contains the following information: current, past prices and conditions, delivery data, vendor data, and text. Purchasing info records is mostly used when you're looking to purchase a certain material and you want to find out which vendor may have it at the best cost or can deliver it to you the fastest. Other information that will help you decide that who you want to purchase that specific material from when you're filling out these purchase requisitions. Conditions. They're used in purchase orders to determine price. When a purchase order is created in reference to a contract or purchase info record, the conditions are automatically included in the purchase order. There's three types of conditions that you can have. A contract conditions that come from your purchasing information record, and extend conditions such as discounts that you may have from a vendor from doing previous business with them or buying in large quantity of sums and others. Purchase requisitions and purchase orders we're going to overview. This is actually the general overview of the purchase to pay process, but like I said today, we're only going to highlight 2 of those processes, and then we're going to go on to the next ones next week. First of all, you got to determine the requirements, what sort of materials you need, how much you need, what you're willing to pay, or when you need it by, where it's going, things like that. Source of supply, who you're going to get these materials from, who's going to be able to offer you these materials at the best price, when they can give it to you the quickest, and who can offer you a better discount. Vendor selection, this is when you go through the process of selecting the vendor that you believe in your company that will give you the greatest benefit of purchasing your materials or services from them. Purchase order processing, this is when you go through the process of putting in the order. You have already selected the vendor that you want to buy these goods from, and then you're going to go through and create this purchase order from that vendor. PO monitoring, I gave an example of this, I think week 2. It's like when you're on eBay and you're really excited for your new Ray-Ban sunglasses to come in, and you just can't wait to have them. You know, summer's right around the corner, you want to make sure you get those. So you're on that every day just looking, when am I going to get these? Companies do that as well with, different products that they have. Goods receipt, this is when you officially have the goods in your possession. This is when you maintain legal ownership of these goods. They leave the legal ownership from the supplier and now are in your legal possession. Invoice verification, this is when the person who sells you the goods gives you the invoice and lets you know that how much you need to pay them, and you can do the invoice verification, you can give them a lump sum right away. You can pay them over time, maybe if it's a very expensive order, you don't have, the cash on hand to do it right away. You can do it into different, maybe months, years, not a whole lot of businesses probably do, yearly invoices, but there's different ways that you can do an invoice verification. And then payment processing, this is when you've finally paid the supplier for the goods that you have received. Now we're going to go on to purchase requisitions. These are internal documents that are used to request purchasing department to produce a material or service. They can be created automatically. I think that's a typo actually. That should be manually or by MRP or other ways, manually or automatically. Automatically, one of the ways you can do it automatically is through MRP. It pulls information from material master records, and then the purchasing converts the purchasing to a request for a quotation or a purchase order. The conversion process. The buyer typically does this when they convert the purchase requisition into a purchase order. Just at this point, when you convert the requisition into the order, that's basically the requisition is, I need these materials, and the order is, we're going to get these materials. Consumable materials, they are cost-assigned objects. When the material is consumable, let's say kind of like a screw. You're not going to keep track of each individual screw that you get from a supplier, because there could be thousands, tens of thousands, depending on what kind of business you're running. So these are just going to be marked as consumables, where you don't really record each individual cost for the screw that you're going to have in your inventory. It may or may not have a material master. If there's no material master, the order must be assigned to a cost center or an asset. If it doesn't have a material master, that means, like I said, a screw. You're going to be using tons of them, and if you have someone that has to update the system every time you're using a screw, that's going to take up a lot of time. Whereas you can just assign it to a cost center, saying this department used this sort of value amount in screws. We're just going to deduct that amount, what we think is worth what these screws are worth into our manufacturing process. Consumables, material, they have account assignment objects. They can be labeled as an asset, a cost center. They can be going towards a project, towards production, like the example I used, or a sales order. Procurement for consumption, they must be assigned to account object, and then they can be set automatically to update the G&L accounts. Purchase order. This is the request to a vendor for certain goods or services. They can be created without a purchase requisition. You can do purchase orders without having to do the purchase requisition part. And they pull information from the purchase information record that we talked about previously, how we use other companies' previous data about what they're costing or charging us or charging other people, or their future costs or past costs. And the goods received in the invoice verification are carried out on the purchase order. There are several types of item categories that go into a PO. There's a standard for external procurement, subcontracting, which you have another person create the finished product ordered from the vendor, consignment, third-party orders, which order goods from a vendor to deliver to third party, stock transfer, when you're just transferring items between plants, and services. And the output for purchase orders, when you create a purchase order, you can have it via printout, fax, EDI, or other sources of material. I mean, it could be social media for all you care. Is there any questions before we go on to the questions? Yes?
So the raw material could be consumable and also non-consumable.
Right, I mean, you can have it be for consumable if you want it to, but it doesn't have to be. You know, if you really want to keep track of each individual screw in your company, you can. There's nothing that says you can't. But, you know, other things for consumables might be, let's say you use a lot of cardboard or something in your company, and just the cost and time it takes for someone to go through and count each individual, square foot of cardboard you're using. Does it really make sense, or could you just go through and kind of just, develop, put it towards a cost center and estimate, okay, like a good estimation. It's not like you're pulling something in the air, like, this amount of cardboard costs $1,000. It's like, you're going to have accurate measures for being able to use for items for consumption, but you're not going to, create it as its own material and keep track of, every single thing that you're using. I think cardboard would probably be a bad example, like nuts, bolts, screws, other small things that you use a lot for your production processes for any single type of thing you may be producing in a factory. If you use that material a lot, it'd take up a lot of time and money to be able to count all that stuff. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Anybody else? All right, on the questions. Question number 1. A purchasing organization. A purchasing organization can only represent one plant. This is where I jumbled up my words completely about 10 minutes ago.
It's true!
Oh, you're wrong! It's false. A purchasing organization can represent multiple plants. 2 are correct. A purchasing group is directly associated with the company code. Deals with pricing and conditions. Represents a buyer or group of buyers. Cannot be assigned to a purchasing organization. It is mandatory to create a purchasing organization. Alright, I think it is C. Yep. The purchasing group does not deal with pricing conditions as the purchasing organization. The purchasing group is not directly associated with the company code because the purchasing group represents its own entity aside from the hierarchy. It does represent a group of buyers, and it cannot be assigned to the purchasing organization because, like I said, it's its own entity. And it is not mandatory to create a purchasing organization. You do not need a purchasing group to create a purchasing organization. Purchasing information records can contain the following. 3 are correct. Current, future prices and conditions, material quantity, who the seller's competitors are, PO tracking, delivery data, and vendor records. Who wants to take a stab at that? Anybody else? APP. Alright, it is 8EF. The purchasing info record contains the current future prices and conditions, delivery data, and vendor records. Material quantity is not in the purchasing information record because you only know your material quantity for the PO that you want. Who the seller's competitors are, I made that up. And PO tracking is through PO monitoring. And you can do yeah, it's not through the purchasing info record. The purchasing info record, if I were to kind of like explain it, it's think about the people who you're buying products from, the other companies, different sort of information they have. I mean, they would know delivery data because they have delivered previously to you, hopefully, or someone around you that would know, frankly, maybe what sort of delivery patterns that they have. Are they good in delivery? You know, are they always running late? Are they always early? Vendor records, purchasing info records are related to vendor records because it's through the vendors that these purchasing information records are readily available to other companies that are buying products. And current and future prices and conditions are through other vendors as well. Sorry, my voice is going hoarse. Question 3. Purchase orders can only be created directly. That's false. They can be created automatically as well through MRP, internal orders. Yeah, there's plenty of other ways. I think there's like 6 total, but you'll learn all of those when you take the exam. Unfortunately, I don't know them off the top of this rusty brain. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments related to anything SAP related?
So during the exam and equipment, will we be given that there are key items as a consists like answer?
Yes. When I took it last summer, that's how they did it for me. There was questions that would go like A through F, where they would be like 2 through 4, even sometimes 5 are correct. They would have these weird questions where there would be like 6 answers you could choose from, and you have to pick 5 right ones. And it was quite a doozy. However, there are no true and false questions on the exam. When I took it, there weren't any true and false, so that kind of stinks a little bit. I think everything that you're going to see on the exam will be, you know, regular multiple choice, A through D, pick one, or pick multiple out of multiple choice, pretty much. But they will tell you how many are correct when you're taking it, so it kind of gives you a big hand. Another, I guess, solid piece of advice I would give is the second to last day, the second Thursday, we're going to be taking a practice test. And when I took the practice test, I scored like a 42. And I was like, oh man, like I'm on fire right now. Like I was stressing out really hard because I took this test. And I don't want to tell you guys to give you this, you know, feeling of freedom, but when you take these daily quizzes that you're going to be given, if you score well, you should be feeling really good. And if you're not scoring well, like if you're scoring, you know, maybe 40%, don't feel like you're on fire because these quizzes that they give you are slightly more difficult than what the test will have. And I say this very loosely, slightly, because don't think that, you know, oh, I scored, I don't need to study tonight. No, I'm good. I mean, if you're scoring like in the 20s and 30s, you should be on fire. You should really have that sense of urgency. But if you're scoring, you know, 40%, 50%, don't sweat it too much. Like, don't pull your hair out and, like, you know, explode over stress. Just know that you have to keep working really hard, study every night, go home. You know, you go home at 5 o'clock, study until 9 o'clock, watch Netflix for an hour, go to bed. Just so you're not living in this robot lifestyle. Just have like an hour a day, no more, to, you know, just relieve yourself, just kind of take your mind off things. And then just get back at it and grind as hard as you can, guys. Like, this test was no joke. Like, I will tell you, all manhood aside, I cried a little when I passed it, just because of how much time and effort I put into taking this thing. And I really hope that you guys take this as serious as I did. And if I find out any of you guys go to Pines on a Tuesday during this, I will personally come and do something. I don't know yet, but I'll be really bummed. So with that in mind, have a great night, guys. Good luck. Have a great spring break. We will not be meeting here.